So, I am not going to be a doctor anymore. I am going to switch all my time, energy, and attention to becoming the next Stevie Wonder. And could you send me a keyboard as soon as possible? And he said, absolutely not. But what he had done is he forgot that he actually had given me a keyboard already. I was looking for another one. So, in any case, what happened is I really discovered that music was my passion. And I also discovered that being a young, skinny, not so cool, dressing, cork bottle glasses wearing student at Harvard, if I could get behind a microphone and sing or rap, or, you know, people thought I was cool. I said, man, this is everything I want to be. So I started performing at talent shows and all the fraternity parties and singing and writing my own stuff and mission classes and I had a mentor at school, and he would always go to bat for me. And he said, look, because they wanted to kick me out at this point. I said, man, well, Mr. Leslie, you know, you were supposed to be a pre-med student. We thought we were grooming the next Nobel cancer cure discovering laureate, and you just wanted to run around and sing all day. But what he had done is he had introduced me to an engineering component of the university, which was in the basement of my dorm, called the Quad Sound Studios. And that mentor went to bat for me over and over and over again in front of the administrative board saying, man, this young man is special. And if he was capable enough of getting into this university, he's capable of, with the right direction, pursuing his dream and still graduating on time. So, what I decided to do is, hey, if everyone is not going to help me with my dream, I would be resourceful enough and have enough ingenuity to teach myself how I could make it happen, right? And this is something that actually extended into my later life and career. So, one of the first things I did is take a look at people that I wanted to emulate. Now, first off, it was Stevie Wonder, right? But then I realized, man, Stevie Wonder, people were remaking Stevie Wonder songs at that time, so it'd probably be much cooler if I was more like Usher. So, I would read the album credits, and I realized Jermaine Dupri wrote one of my favorite Usher songs. You made me want to leave the one with, start a new relationship, this is what you do. You make me. Okay, yeah. So I decided I was going to write a letter to Jermaine Dupri, and he was going to produce a record for me. Man, I remember writing that letter, put the stamp on it, put it in the post box. I made sure my return address was extra clear. That's funny. All right, so about a week went by. I was like a sophomore. A week went by. 2 weeks went by. 3 months went by. 6 months went by. A year went by. And then I said, man, he's probably not going to write back. Yeah, he actually never wrote back. So, around my junior year, I got a job on campus, saved up some money, went to New York City, and had actually represented myself as my own manager and gotten myself an appointment at Sony Records. So I would call up because I had it all planned out. I got a job that gave me free phone time. You know, it was like a salesman job. You know, it was like a special guide for students, and they published it every year. And I was one of those salesmen. They needed to get advertisements in this guide. So pizza stores and dry cleaning stores and whoever would be good for students. So I would call up on the phone, but I would take about an hour every night to call New York City, every single record label. And I would call up as Mr. John Smith. Hello, this is Mr. John Smith. I represent an amazingly incredible, talented artist that you have to see. So finally, I actually got myself an appointment. I went up to New York City, and I met with a brother named Ron Grant, who was the Sony A&R at the time. He had just signed Destiny's Child. And I walked into the office, just me. I had a little CD and I had made. And he said, well, where's Mr. John Smith? All right, well, he couldn't make it, but I'm here. I'm here, and he was sick, and I'm here, and I want to play this music. And I played him some music, and I put on a thing. I said, I want to sing for you. And he said, man, you sound like a frog.
Oh.
But don't give up on your dreams. Keep singing, brother. All right, I gotta go.
Oh.
Thanks for coming. Catch you later.
That's terrible.
Man, that was Jermaine Dupri, that was Mr. Ron Grant, and I went back into the studio, and like I said, there was a studio on my campus, and I just decided, well, you know what, if no one else is going to do it, no one is going to believe in you the way you believe in you.
That's right.
So, I may not have a lot of money, but I do know that I have a brain, and I do know that I have time. And one of the things that I learned is when you invest the time and you invest it the right way, you're going to get good. You will get good. And I actually read a book about that recently. It's called Talent is Overrated. It's by a guy by the name of Jeff Colvin, and he makes the assumption, or he presents the idea. He presents the idea that if you spend 10,000 hours doing something, you can become a pro at it. So that applies to anything. But you got to spend the time, and you need a good teacher. So he took case studies of Tiger Woods. He took case studies of scientists. He took case studies of a lot of very, very successful people. And he found the same thing. I mean, virtuoso piano players and violinists. If you spend 10,000 hours doing something, you will get to a level where you are the best, the cream of the crop. Because most people won't even spend the time doing it. And also, by the time you realize something like this, and that's why I'm hoping that the young people in this audience take what I'm saying. By the time most people realize this, it's already, they got other things going on. They don't have the time to actually invest. But while you're young, you do have the time to invest. And my story is exactly that. I wasn't a music producer. I wasn't really a singer per se. I wasn't a rapper. I wasn't an engineer. But I spent 40 to 50 hours a week, in addition to my studies at Harvard, teaching myself how to make a record. How to make a record. How to make a recording that sounded like all my favorite recordings. So I love Timbaland, I love Devontae Swing, I love Teddy Riley, I love everything that Jermaine Dupri was doing for Usher, but I couldn't afford it. But I could take out the books, I could get into the studio, I could turn the knobs, and I could listen and spend the time to get to the point where 2 years after graduating from college, and I did graduate on time, and I did give the speech at my graduation.
All right, boo.
2 years after graduating from college, we entered a contest in a Teen People magazine. My homeboy got signed, and I got my first job as a music producer at $10,000 a track, 4 tracks on an album by the name of by a guy by the name of Corey Lateef Williams. And that was my first job in the music industry, and I was making just as much money as everybody else that went to college and ended up going to J.P. Morgan or Wall Street or Goldman Sachs, and my parents just couldn't believe it.